Good morning. Happy March 27th, and welcome back to the Leaf Riders of Wrenwood, where we are going through the Lost Woods, and we have some travelers with us that are also lost. And we have just seen a shadow start to loom over the woods. We believe there's a flying monster hunting us. So we have prepared by trying to hide in the bushes, and we get +1 to our defense today. So let's see what we're up against. We'll go ahead and tear this off. And, oh, I wonder if that's just Eldris. It's definitely an owl. What if Eldris has been corrupted by something? I don't know. But regardless, it is a boss fight. So that's exciting. Alright, so we have Wednesday, March 27th, 2024, which is Wednesday of Frostmelt. And let's just go ahead and read the page. The creature that's been shadowing you descends upon the forest with a flurry of ferocity, relentlessly assailing the terrified travelers. Silhouetted against the setting sun, its form remains elusive. It seizes the hapless travelers, tossing them around, launching them skyward in a display of terrifying strength. Amidst the chaos, some of the critters muster the courage to retaliate. Joining them, you surge forward, heart ablaze with courage, ready to challenge the monster. Okay, for each round of combat you don't hit the enemy, you lose one traveler. Okay, interesting. Well, we'll have to keep track of that. There's a wisdom roll that we make here, in addition to the normal attack, damage, and defense. And it says in the kind of description of how the combat works, it says if your wisdom roll is less than whatever wisdom number it gives, which it looks like is always 11, you are frightened that round. Re-roll your attack, take the new result if it is less than your first attack. All right. Well, that's cool. It's a cool little mechanic. It's just harder to hit them, basically. Okay. All right. Well, let's start rolling. So we need to do our first wisdom roll here, and we don't have anything to improve wisdom rolls. I don't think. Do we have a? Okay, we have one sage leaf that we could use, so we could improve one wisdom roll. So yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind. And because yeah, these are strength and constitution. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go for it. Wisdom roll. A 12. Okay. So that's a success there on the first wisdom roll. Okay. Then we're going to roll our attack. And yeah, wisdom is +0. Yeah, okay. Roll our attack here. That was a 12 on the die, which is +5. So that's a 17. So that's got to be good enough. And then we are going to roll damage, which is our d12 here. Only 2. That's probably not good enough. Yeah, I can look over. I guess I wonder if I should start just saying what the enemy is beforehand. There's no real reason not to, because I'm going to be looking at that anyway. So yeah, let's do that real quick. Round 1, it's got a wisdom of 11, a defense of 11, a health of 7, an attack of 13, standard damage of 2, and partial damage of 1. Okay, so yeah, so 2 damage is very much not enough. Now we do have 2 surges, and we could use a Gale Strike to add a d4 to a damage roll. And we also could try to use the Swashbuckler to try to add a damage. But, I mean, we'd have to hit a 4 on the damage roll and hit on the Gale Strike, I mean, and hit with the Swashbuckler, so I just don't think that's worth it. Yeah, I don't see too much of a reason to do that. So we'll probably just write down the 2 damage. Okay. And so we don't stun them. And then we are going to roll our defense then. Now we're +1 on defense here, +4, so we're +5 for defense. Not great though, so we rolled a 5. So we add 5 to that for a 10, and it is attacking for 13. So I think I'll go ahead and use a warding ointment here to try to block the damage. We need to roll a so it says if your defense roll equals or exceeds the attack, reduce your health by the enemy's partial damage. Okay, so let's do that. So let's go ahead and mark off a warding ointment here. Going down to 1. We just got one of those yesterday, and we're immediately using it. Alright, and we just have to hope to roll. We have a 50% chance here, basically. We need to roll a 3 or a 4. A 2. Alright, so that puts us up to a 12, because 5 and 5 and 2 is 12. I don't think it's worth. I mean, I guess we could use a surge, a whirlwind to not take the damage, but I don't think it's worth it because I think I want to try to hit it. You know, like stunning it. So I think, yeah, I think we're just gonna take the 2 damage. We're at 14, so we can afford that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just write 12 here. There we go. And then we will go down to 12 for our HP, which I think is fine. All right. There we go. Just leave this open. Okay. All right, let's do the second round. Now we did hit, and it's only if you don't hit that you lose a traveler. So we did hit, we just didn't do enough to stun it. Okay, so round 2, let's do our wisdom roll here. Okay, so that's a 6, so we fail the wisdom roll. So that means we have disadvantage on the attack, essentially. We roll it twice, and we take whichever one is lower. So let's do the first one here. Well, that's an 18, so that's a 23. So now let's do the other one. And that is a 9. So that's a 14. So we take the 14. Luckily, that is enough. Oh, wow. This is drying out really fast, I guess, if I keep it open. Okay, let's not do that. Okay. Um, and I said I was going to read the enemies first, and I didn't, so let's let's do that now real quick. So for round 2, it has a wisdom of 11, a defense of 13, a health of 5, attack of 12, standard damage of 2, and partial damage of 1. And just to read the flavor of the time it hit me the first round, the enemy emits a terrifying screech, causing fear to grip you. Okay. So, our 14 attack is enough to hit, which is good. And it only has a health of 5, so we hopefully will be damaging it this time. We'll roll our damage roll. Okay, 11. Yes, absolutely. That is way more than enough. So we have 11 damage here. All right, lovely. And then we'll just do the defense roll in case we hit the boon here, in case we hit the 20. Okay, that was a 13, which is a 14, which is an 18, but that is not going to matter. All right, so we get to stun it that round, so we don't take an attack, which is awesome. All right, let's go ahead and do round 3. All right, give me one moment here. All right, now for round 3. So let's roll the. Well, let's read the stats first. And I guess we can read the flavor of round 2. So the enemy pecks at your head with a sharp beak. All right. Now round 3, it has a wisdom of 11, a defense of 11, a health of 7, an attack of 14, standard damage of 1, and partial damage of 0. Okay, so let's make the wisdom roll here to see if we're frightened. 19. Okay, so we are very much not frightened. So that's good. Okay, so we'll just roll the attack not with disadvantage. Oh, a 19 again. Okay, well that's definitely enough. That's a 24 to hit. Lovely. All right, let's roll damage. Okay, we rolled max damage there, so 12. All right. And then, again, we'll do the defense roll just for the sake of potentially hitting the boon. Oh, and we did. Look at that. 20. All right, so we have 20. And we get a boon. Lovely. Okay. So, we definitely do not take the hit that time. We stun it again, which is great. And it says the enemy flaps its mighty wings, creating a gust of wind that knocks you off balance. Okay. Now, round 4. It has a wisdom of 11, a defense of 12, a health of 6, an attack of 11, standard damage of 3, and partial damage of 1. Okay. So let's go ahead and roll wisdom. Okay, that's a 9. So 9 is is close because you need an 11. So this feels like the perfect time to use the Sage Leaf because we just need to hit a 2. So a 2, a 3, or a 4, and we succeed on the Wisdom, which is pretty good. Don't need to write a 0. All right, so yeah, let's just not hit the 1 here. Yeah, a 4. Perfect. Okay, so we get a 13 on the Wisdom roll. 13. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll our attack, and we don't do so with disadvantage, which is good. Okay, that's a 6, and we're plus 5, which is 11, and this one had a defense of 12. So yeah, let's go ahead and use the boon. So we are going to immediately use that. Roll a d4. We got a 3, so that puts us up to a 14, which is enough to hit. Lovely. Let's go ahead and mark off the boon before I forget. Lovely. Okay. So that's an attack of 14. Let's roll our damage here. 1. So min damage there. I don't think there's... So it was... Oh, it is a health of 6. So we, again, could try to hit the full 4 here and then try to hit with the swashbuckler. We're getting late enough in the attack. I think it's probably worth trying to use the surge. Because if we do happen to hit the 4, I mean, the chances of hitting both are really small, though. But, like, if I end up not using the surge next round, it's just going to feel silly to not have at least tried. Yeah, I guess I think I'll use it. So we'll go ahead and mark off a surge here. And if we happen to hit the 4, then we'll go for the swashbuckler's ability. Okay, we hit a 3, which brings us up to 4 damage, so we can't even hit 6. So, yeah, we will just move on. Okay. So, I guess we'll write down that we got 4 damage there. Not enough. And, alright, let's do our defense roll here. A 14, which is 18, 19, which has got to be enough, right? Yes, it was an attack of 11. All right, so we only take the partial damage, which is just 1, so not too bad. All right, so we go down to 11. We at least still haven't lost a traveler because we have hit every time. We just haven't stunned it every time. Okay, and let's do the last round. So round 4, the sharp beak of the enemy grazes your skin as it tries to deliver a painful bite. All right, and now we're on round 5. It has a wisdom of 11, a defense of 14, a health of 7, an attack of 13, standard damage of 2, and partial damage of 1. So let's do our wisdom roll here. An 8. Okay, so we do fail because we don't have any way to modify that since we used our 1 sage leaf. Yeah, this is really not wanting to mark. There we go. Okay, 8. Then we'll go ahead and do our attack. We have to do this one with disadvantage. Well, that's already pretty bad. So that's a 4 plus 5 is 9. And an 11. So yeah, we'll take the 4. So the 4 plus 5 is 9. And then we need to get up to 13, but we don't have a way to do that. So we just hit 9 here, which means we do miss for the first time. So that means we are going to lose a traveler. So we have 3 travelers lost. All right. And then we don't even roll damage. So we'll just do a little thing because we're not hitting. And let's roll defense. Okay, a 19 plus 5 is 24, so that is enough. So we only take partial damage of 1, which takes us down to 10. All right. And for that final round, it says the enemy swoops down, talons extended, aiming to snatch and toss you around. And then it says after 5 rounds, the enemy takes off in flight. All right. So we collect 1 amber for each round you stunned the enemy. So we stunned them twice, 2 out of the 5 rounds. And then, so that's 2 amber. You also collected D10 additional amber if you dealt a total of 40 damage or more. Well, we did not because we dealt what? 10, 23, 27. We dealt 29. So we do not. Okay, so we just collect 2 amber from that, putting us to 8. All right. Yeah, to do 40, so you had to average like 8 per round damage, which is a little more than I'm expected to do. Assuming I hit every time, that's more than I'm expected to do. So that's kind of tough. Kind of tough to do that. But I mean, I wouldn't say that went like well. You know, out of the 5 rounds, we only hit stunned rather on 2 of them. But I mean, you know, it definitely could have been worse. I mean, we only didn't hit one of the rounds, and our defense rolls were all pretty good. So overall, I mean, it definitely could have gone worse. It's just the hitting the damage of 1 and 2 was pretty brutal, I think. But you know, that is what it is. And we survived. You know, we didn't take that much damage. We took like 4 total, I think, because I think we were at full before this. So, so you know, not amazing, but not horrible either. Yeah. So we will see what the kind of repercussions are of losing another traveler, maybe tomorrow or at least soon, I imagine. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.